Welcome back. Today, our music is provided by Blue Venus.
Oh,
Just so you know, Janette.
I know. She looks so good on the... I've seen her stuff.
Have you? Blue Venus?
Yeah.
Really? She,
Blue?
well, not that blue. A different blue.
No.
But yes, the Venus thing.
Yes. I love Venus, you know, goddess of love, right? Inspiration for all women combined.
Is that a segue, Janette, to our next guest, Naomi Shapiro?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Great. Welcome to have you. Welcome to have you here.
Yeah.
Thank you
Naomi.
for having me here.
Welcome to that channel. It's great to have you here. Designs by Naomi. And where do we want to start? You've got a shop up in Yorkville?
Yes. I'm on Cumberland Street.
Yeah.
And I brought some different things from over the years.
We're going to talk about how you got to be the retail extraordinaire that you are, because let's face it, it's not easy to be in the retail business in Canada or anywhere really. It's a challenge to keep it going, and you've managed to do it for years, and I think that that's a very big feather in your cap. And in addition to that, Naomi's a very talented designer, so she actually designs her own stuff and then sells it in her own shops. And this journey began for you when you were a child, right? So tell us how you got to, you know, how did you evolve into being the designer and the retailer magnificent that you are today?
Okay. Well, ever since I was a child, I always loved decorating clothing, like starting at the age of 8. So I have a picture here of myself and my mom, and you can only see the tip of my top, but it was a sparkly ice cream cone that I did when I was 8 years old. You know, you took the sparkles and the glue, and I had it on a white t-shirt, so that was when I was 8 years old. And I just always loved taking clothing and then embellishing it however I did it. So that was like the beginning of it. And then when I was in high school, I ended up doing the same thing, decorating clothing, and while everyone was taking like summer vacation, I decided to start my own business, and I was vending on the street when I was in high school and when I was in like university or whatever.
What street?
And so at the corner of Yonge and Bloor, and then at the corner of Gerrard and Yonge. And I only have one picture, but these are fabulous memories of me. And this is in '89, so it's a picture of me vending. And what I used to sell tie-dyed clothing at the corner of Yonge and Bloor, and then painted clothing, and that's Gerrard and Yonge. That was the end of those days. In '89 was my last year.
Fantastic.
And you also had several booths around, right? You had
yeah.
one
So
at the
okay. So basically, after I finished with the vending, graduated in fashion design at school.
Where'd you go?
I went to the International Academy of Fashion Merchandising and Design, but I had my own business before I went to school, and then finished school and ended up getting a job with Marilyn Brooks.
Another Canadian
she is my
designer.
mentor, and worked for her for a year and a half, and she allowed me to sell the clothing that I was making in her store. And that's originally how I met her. She wanted me to decorate some of the clothing she had. So I did that for a period of time, and then she was kind enough to let me know that, Naomi, you shouldn't be working for anybody. You should go it on your own. And I was like 22 at the time, and I did. And that's when you had seen me. I guess I opened up in the different malls, and I had kiosks pretty much all over Toronto at one point. And this is a picture of years ago. They didn't have L'Oreal Fashion Week. They had the Canadian Festival of Fashion, and that's a picture of something I decorated for Marilyn Brooks in her store like over 20 years ago, and they were showing it at the show.
Where was that taken?
That was at the Metro Convention Center 20 years ago.
I remember that. I used to go to that too, actually.
Sorry. And then it would go on to, I was at the Toronto Eaton Centre for 10 years, selling a lot of fun clothing there. And do you remember when they were showing the different mousses all over Toronto?
That was Toronto's finest hour, when those mousses came up.
How many years ago was that?
About 10
too
or
many.
so. 10 or 12.
Not enough.
Okay, it was more. Yeah, it was more. It was at least 12 years ago. Anyway, so these are some of the designs that we did, and so some of the girls working for me ran around all of Toronto with just like a regular camera, like a disposable camera, and they got these great pictures of themselves wearing the clothing in front of all the different mousses in Toronto.
So, Naomi, how were you able to evolve? Where's your inspiration coming from? You know, your line has undergone, you went from tie-dye to, you know, very high fashion clothing now, and
Well, I have a few more things to show
Oh,
you
in between?
here.
Okay.
In between, okay. So basically, I was in all the different malls selling different things that I was making, and then this is another one. This is a great shot, I think.
This has got
Oh yeah,
a
that's
big
great.
card in behind. What was that?
Who's the model?
Her name is Kwanzaa, and she's fabulous. And she used to work for me years ago, so that's her sporting one of the outfits. So while I was on the kiosks, I was selling different pieces I was making, and basically, it got too big for that. So I was anywhere from the Toronto Eaton Centre to Harbourfront. I had a clothing store at Queens Quay Terminal. I was at the airport. I was probably at 10 different places at different times. And I decided, it's myself and my sister that actually do this together. So
She a designer too?
we design together, so it's pretty much equal.
And you
I'm
make
just older.
everything that you have in the store. You have a design team behind
Yeah, it's
you.
like a design team, and the two of us have been doing this for like ever, pretty much for like the last 20 years. And it grew too big for a kiosk, so about 6 years ago we opened up in the Yorkville location, and that's where we are currently. And this is like one of the window displays. That's a little more.
So there it is. And Naomi, while we're looking at this, I want to ask you, why did you pick Yorkville?
This I love. When I was going back many, many years ago, I used to vend in Yorkville. So before, like going back 20 years ago, I remember selling my clothing off the trees there and just loving it.
You hung them off the trees?
Yeah, I literally hung them off the trees. This goes back so long ago, and I always said that if I was actually to open up a shop other than Queens Quay Terminal, I think Yorkville I've always loved Yorkville. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and we decided, myself and my sister, to open up there. So that's been for the last 6 years, and that's been wonderful. And now we are currently under another label selling our line across Canada.
And that label is?
It's Rock and Karma. So we're selling our line on
boutiques across
and
Canada?
that's in boutiques across Canada. Yeah. But some of the other things that we like to do is design for different charities, like a logo, and then we give all the money to that charity.
Oh, that's
so
great.
this is a picture. This was something we did for a while. Now this is a cancer ribbon. This is breast cancer. But we do all different ribbons, and this over here is Kwanzaa wearing one of the breast cancer tank tops, and it's all beaded there.
And all the money that you make.
All
on
the
these
money, yeah,
clothes?
everything, yeah.
That's
it
great.
all goes to that particular charity. But there's many charities that we work with, depending on the time, what's going on in your life. You decide to do different things, but this was one that we did. But you could do so many things with the ribbon because there's so many different.
And you started with T-shirts, correct?
That's correct.
But you do much more than T-shirts now.
Yeah. It's a whole line of clothing. So basically what we're about, we're a unique clothing line for all women for all occasions. So that means someone can walk in, we sell from age 8 to age 80. Right?
Wow,
and
that's a big target spread.
and if someone has a party and a family's coming in, I can sell anywhere from the girl that's getting married to her mother to the grandmother, because there's for all age ranges and for all shapes and sizes, which is wonderful too.
Yes.
We go from a size 0 to a size 18. So
Wow, that's great.
And
Even
when
your plus sizes then can.
What's that?
Plus size girls too can shop.
Yeah, so it's for all different body types, and when you have the clothing on, you feel really good about yourself. It's just very comfortable stuff that makes you look better than you actually look. It's a lot of stretchy stuff that does wonders to the body.
That is the way it should be, isn't it? You should not just look good, but you should also feel good.
Absolutely. No, that's
Because it's
very
not
important thing.
just to look good is not good enough. You don't just feel good if you just look good. You got to feel good and
That's
look
right.
good.
And also, I like the fact that the clothing that you make, because it's so comfortable, but can be dressed for any occasion, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So, so who? I know also you had celebrities interested in your line.
Yes.
Can you tell us some of them who are wearing it right now?
I don't know about right now, but over the years, I've had anyone from Christy Alley to Cindy Crawford to Michelle Kwan to who I don't know who
that's
else,
great.
but just different people over the years, because I've been in so many different locations. Being in the Eaton Center, you have so many different people from so many different places shopping there that you never know. And then all of a sudden you're looking through a magazine and you see somebody wearing your stuff and you're like, that's cool.
Wow,
So-
that's great. What
Yeah.
is there a specific instance that you can recall? what magazine? Who did you
No,
see?
I thought it was neat when I saw Michelle Kwan on the front cover of Sports Illustrated magazine for women. That was many years ago, but I didn't expect
Wearing one of your...
She was wearing a pair of our funky pants, and I thought that was neat, but that was
is
a long
very
time
cool.
ago. And then a lot of singers and stuff like that are interested in our clothing because we do a lot of fun, unique. Like a lot of our stuff is rock and roll chic as well.
Yes,
so
I
get
like
a lot
that,
of celebrities or people in the music business that like wearing our clothing because it's something
And have
you're
you
not going
met
to see
any
everywhere.
of them? Have they come to you and told you?
Yeah, like people will send me different pictures, or which is kind of neat, or they've just called and said, it went over well. Another thing that I've done, this is jumping around a little bit, but when I was working for Marilyn Brooks, she had co-op students for her working there at the time. So that's one of the things that I actually took on in this store over the last few years. I ended up hiring a couple of co-op students, like one each year, and it's worked out really well. And you teach them different things that I was taught going back 20 years ago.
Wow,
and that's
so it's
neat.
mentoring all over again. like
That's right. So
Marilyn
yes.
mentored you.
So one of the girls actually was on the committee for school, and they did a school magazine. So she ended up doing a story on a couple of the stores in Yorkville. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, and
That's
you were
something-
just recently featured also in Jeannie Becker's fashion pics in the Post.
That's right. That was nice.
All the posts, right?
Yeah.
Thornton Post.
Yeah, it's always fun when something like that happens.
So, I think another really great benefit to your clothing is that it's durable.
Yes.
And because it's stretchy, comfy type of material, you can travel well with it because
That's
you
right.
could roll it and you wouldn't have to iron it.
That's right. Yeah,
So that's
it
great.
It doesn't fade.
So if you get stuck on the Trans-Siberian without any
Yes.
wrinkle-free, you're okay with
Yes,
your
you know,
design.
a lot of people
Your
actually
suitcase
come in
and
to
you
get
put it in.
our business card is, I'll show you this, okay, it's a funky pant. And we started off about 15 years ago using this stretchy material. And our business card is still that's the same business card as I had 15 years ago. And people still love our pants to this day. The entire line is offered in solid black. So when you talk about traveling, when someone's traveling, a lot of times they'll like to wear our clothing because you just throw it in a ball, throw it in your suitcase, and you're good to go. And when you're sitting down on a plane for 10 hours and you get up, my stuff doesn't bag out at the knee or at the butt or
Yeah,
anything
that's
like
great.
that. So you
You're
still
ready
look
to
new.
go. You always look
which is
great.
nice, yeah. I have a brochure that I did for wholesale, and it's my line for next year. Would you like to see it?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so this is
Okay. I don't know. Am I supposed to flip this?
Yeah, you could-
Naomi?
yeah, you
There's
could flip.
Where'd that name come? Rock and Karma?
that took a few years to get. That I actually trademarked in Canada and the United States. I'm a kind of like rocker chic kind of girl, and I believe in karma. So it took several years to get to that name, but when I got to it, myself and my sister were really happy with the name, and I think our customers love it too. So that's good.
And you also have jewelry, right? So
Yeah.
you can put the whole.
Yeah, I sell
It's
in
not
the
a
store.
guessing game.
In the store, I sell a lot of accessories and jewelry as well. So when someone's coming, it's kind of like a one-stop shop. You come in with your mom, you come in with your sister, your grandmother, whoever, and there's something for everybody there. And then I have like purses and plenty of jewelry for
So it's all
anybody.
coordinated with the clothes.
Yeah, and even if some of it doesn't, because I like stuff that's unique, so some of the jewelry doesn't coordinate with the clothes, but when you're looking for something different and you're wearing all black, anything's going to go with black.
Right.
Which I'm wearing right now, which I actually brought a couple of
Yeah,
lovely ladies
let's see
here.
some of
Is it
those
fashion
models.
show time, Naomi?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fashion show time. So
Is
first
there music?
we're going to have Susie come
Okay.
out, and Susie is wearing a black and white hand-painted wrap vest, and underneath it she has a black turtleneck, and that can be tied at the back, and then the neck can kind of scrunch down. And it's neat because this is actually something that can be worn all year round. In the summer, it looks nice with a tank top underneath it. In the winter, it looks nice with a turtleneck underneath it. It looks like almost like a jacket. And then she's wearing some skinny cargo pants, which have been a really popular item for us recently. And they look good on all body types, so that's a hit.
And the riding boots.
And she's wearing the riding. She loves the riding boots, and they're so fashionable right now. You look lovely. How do you feel in that?
Very good, very comfy and wrinkle-free.
Well,
Now, if you wanted to take that to the evening, let's say, right? Because
Yeah.
this is a bit of a casual look.
Yes.
Even though, I mean, the riding pants and the riding boots are really hot right now.
yeah.
she could also pair that with like a dress pant.
That's right. It could be with a dress pant. It could be
Or a
with a little
long
shorts.
skirt.
Yeah, or a short little skirt. And it could be a completely different, with the right jewelry, it could be a completely different look.
Right, so you can take that, you know, from the day, from the cash to the night, and if you were traveling, you've got maybe 4 or 5 outfits in one.
That's right. But what's also nice is that's all season. So that jacket you wear in the summer and then you can wear it in the winter because it looks like a long sleeve jacket. And with a tank top worn underneath it, it just looks like a vest.
Right, so that's a lot of bang for your.
That's right.
reach.
And
Twice
what I
as
did
much.
say,
You know?
and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but my pants from 15 years ago still look the same, are Lycra pants. So something like this, you buy it today and you'll have it forever. It's timeless, and my designs are edgy, trendy, but not over the top. They're still classic to a degree, so somebody's still going to wear this outfit in 5 years from now and be fashionable and just change the boots, and all of a sudden you have a whole new outfit, or change the top underneath it.
Yeah, you could do
sort of
heels
things.
or whatever.
Exactly.
Now, this is washable, right? You don't
This
have
is
to
washable.
worry about
yes, it's
dry
machine
cleaning
washable.
or anything
No,
like
all
that?
my stuff is machine washable.
That's the
beat
way
or
it
not
should
beat
be.
Yeah, it should be like that, and it is.
And it's
men always
environmentally
come into the
friendly?
store and say, "I wish there was clothing for men," but I don't do that. I
That's
don't go
what I'm
there.
thinking.
Yeah.
You know,
That's your
Yeah, I don't
next
go
step.
there.
That's your
Yeah,
next
maybe
step.
in my next lifetime. So
Is
yeah,
it
so that-
environmentally friendly too? Do you use
Well, I look
environmentally-
at it as being environmentally friendly because it lasts forever. So that's my environmentally
But do you use
friendly.
like anything like bamboo or something like that?
No, I'm not there yet. I get inspired by certain things, but no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not there.
That's really
Yeah, but
nice
actually, I
outfit.
use. I should say though, for my packaging, I use bags that are like recyclable, and I've been doing it for years. So I try to be as environmentally friendly as I can.
Okay, that's good.
plus machine washable is more environmentally friendly than
Dry
taking it to the
cleaning.
dry cleaner.
That's
right.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
And
that's our first model
model.
here.
Second
Thank you
one.
very much, Susie.
Thank you.
Our next model is Wendy, and she looks fabulous. She's
Oh, wow.
wearing a lovely dress, and on this dress, usually I work with just a stretch fabric, but on this dress we have a wonderful piece of jewelry. We have zippers on this dress, we have sequins on this dress, we have suede on this dress, and she looks fantastic
That
in
is
this.
great. And
what a-
is that diaper pins?
No, those are like safety pins. That's what that is.
Safety pins.
And this dress was this is so me, this dress, because
It's
all
fabulous.
different elements, and I like stuff that's a little different. So this dress isn't for everybody, but it's for the right person, and someone that loves fashion would really appreciate this. There's a
I
zipper
love
detail.
this.
So this is,
I think it's great.
this is a lot of fun, and yeah, no, you look absolutely fantastic. And
So that's an all-in-one, right?
yeah, that's a one piece, and that is more of something that's for fall, winter, as opposed to summer with a suede on it. And that would be something that I would hand wash. I wouldn't machine wash with having the suede. So usually I just work with a stretch material, and then sometimes I bring patchwork denim into it. And right now I'm bringing a little bit of suede and leather to some of my pieces. Now I know what you're seeing on her is very black, but most of my stuff is very colorful. So when you walk into the store in the summertime, all you see is bright colors. I love bright colors.
But even though it is very black,
Yeah.
it's not dull because you've got the sparkle in the middle, you've got the nice jewelry, you've got the zippers and the different textures and materials, plus the gray arm that's throwing, some sparkle into
I didn't even
it.
notice the gray arm
Yeah,
until now.
just to make it look a little, a little edgy.
Because you're a guy,
right?
you don't know this is it.
So this is
And then also you could do some bright makeup
That's
that
right.
would throw it up. I think it's fabulous. I think it's a fabulous look. You could wear it to the office, especially if you're, in something like creative or even
Yeah.
marketing. PR would be a great outfit.
Yeah. This is actually her own dress. She owns that. She bought
Oh,
that
wow.
for me.
And then you could also wear it to an evening party.
That's right.
Like
she's
a
wearing it out for
cocktail party
lunch
or a holiday.
Yeah, you
holidays
can wear
or
it.
something.
It all depends on the person and the personality. And some people would only wear it to a dressy event, and then somebody else could wear it anywhere. It just
And
depends.
Again, you could dress it up or down because of the jewelry, right? And
That's right.
you could do different hair things, like a hair piece or something. It would
Yeah.
be really amazing with that.
Yeah, I am gonna thank you so much,
I
Wendy.
did grow up in
appreciate that.
fashion,
I'm just going to show you, just so you could see maybe a little better.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a picture of that. So that's our black and white stuff. And I'm just going to show you a picture of something that's bright and colorful, so you get a completely different feel. Maybe we'll put the camera
Sure.
up to that if that's okay, because that is typical of what I do. Okay, bright colors, very, very flowy, at times certain parts a little more fitted, and really makes the figure look fabulous. Okay?
Yeah,
So-
very colorful. Well, we got some more.
Yeah.
We should just show this for color too, Naomi.
Wow,
That's
nice.
colorful.
Yeah,
And
that is
you're
again.
right
So
in
that's
there
for-
with all the fashion trends too, right? And all the colors.
Yeah,
I see that.
I
There's
know the
blues
trends. I
and
still like to do what I like, and then I have to take a look at previous seasons. So it's not just about what's in fashion; it's also about what I believe in and what I think my customers are
Right,
going
but
to like.
I say that like you're using the black, you're using the leather,
Yeah.
you're using the zips,
Yeah.
the big jewelry. This is all all in the fashion books today,
Yeah.
and the colors of pink and blue. You see that in the stores. It's everywhere. Purple, greens.
that's right.
So I do see that in your clothing as well.
Yeah.
And just to carry on a bit of an interview,
Yeah,
I
no
wanted
problem.
to ask you, what has been your greatest challenge in keeping your business going?
Well, you're always trying to. I've been working with the same fabric for a gazillion years. It's a two-way stretch that I use, and it's worked very well for me. And I think, really, what you have to do is you always have to do a twist and do a spin on your product to make it look new and make it look different, so that people want to come back to you. So
And buy more.
And buy more. So one of the biggest challenges, your customer service is so important, and I strive on that. Our customer service is phenomenal. Our packaging is phenomenal. But all of these little details that one does makes people come back again and again. So I know when someone's left that store that if they don't come back, it's because they moved out of town, and they'll even still find me, by a phone call or looking at my website or whatever, because we're always trying to make the customer happy, and that's such an important thing in retail, in any business that you're in, is customer service. And without the customer service, nobody is that special. Everybody's irreplaceable. I don't care how great your fabric is or how great your product is, but the service that you get and the quality that you get and the way that you feel when you walk out of a store or when you walk around wearing our stuff, you feel like $1,000,000. And how can you beat that?
And do you ship across Canada? Like if
Yeah.
someone ordered something on your website?
Yeah, I get stuff like every day. Not so much on the website, because I feel that a lot of times product has to be, they need to know your product. They have to have tried it on before to see how it feels. So for people that have bought from me before, they'll give me a call from different parts of Canada or the States or Hong Kong or wherever they live. I send stuff all over the world from people who've bought from me before.
And what's next for you, Naomi? You've mentioned you've got this new line in this boutique.
Yes.
What
what's
else
next
is
for me
next
is
for
really
you?
right now. Thankfully, it's been successful across Canada, and in the future, I'd like to sell our line throughout the United States. So that is our next goal, but one step at a time.
Does that
Right
mean
now-
opening up retail? down
No,
there?
not retail. I want to do wholesale. I feel that it's great to have a flagship store, and our flagship store is 128.5 Cumberland Street. That's where we're located. And as far as, I think our stuff shows very well in other stores because it's very unique. So it's been successful so far, and I'd like to continue that.
How many stores are you in across Canada, would you estimate?
Probably 75 or something like that right
Wow.
now.
Great. Are they mostly
And that's only
independents,
been
or-
for the last year.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm just
Sorry,
curious
what's that?
how it works.
Go ahead.
Being in that industry, is it like mostly independent stores, or do you?
It's mostly independent
Okay.
stores, so it's like mid to better, higher end boutiques that carry different lines, whether they're European or Canadian or American, wherever they're from. And one of the lines they carry now is myself. I'm very thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the fact that people are buying it.
Do you consider yourself a role model for women in business?
I would say yes.
I would say
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I would say yes to
There's
that.
so few women in Canada that have really made it the way you have, and I
Thank
think
you.
that,
There's
and you're
plenty of
young,
ver-
and you have so much
There's
to
plenty
offer.
of talented people in this country. It's just a matter of going out there and doing what you believe in my opinion. And Marilyn Brooks told me many, many years ago, I was 21 years old, and I worked for free for her in her studio. And she said, Naomi, this is not for you. She said, in business and being successful is not just about knowing one thing. It's knowing a little bit about everything. And it's so true. You need to know a little bit about the design. You need to know about the color. You need to know about the business. You need to just be worldly. And having that makes you successful in whatever you're going to do.
Now, when you were starting out, today we have shows like Canada's Top Designer, or Fashion Model that that can give Canadian talent a really great break.
Yes.
But you didn't have that because they didn't have those type of shows. If you could do it again, would you have gone on that type of show? Do you think you would have needed that type of show?
I think it's great. It's not for me. Any of these shows, like I give a lot of those people credit who go on to some of these shows on television where it's a contest and it's the top designer or whatever. It's not for everybody. That wouldn't be for me.
Yeah.
It's
It's like to do that, you have to be good at being on one of those shows.
Yeah, it's like all these reality shows today.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. So
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that we have it, and it's helped so many people in their careers. And I think that we're very fortunate to have it. But that wouldn't be, if I was to do it again, I couldn't do that.
I don't think you need to do that. Even
That's just
now,
not me.
you don't need to win those contests to
be successful.
a successful
No,
designer
it's
or
not
whatever
for
it
me.
is.
Well, you proved
Yeah.
that you don't. Have you ever thought about partnering with another designer to add a new dimension to your clothing?
No, it's myself and my sister that do this together, and thankfully the two of us together have been able to. We're never short of ideas ever. So that's something that we usually end up with too many ideas and we have to cut back. So for now, who knows what the future holds, and maybe one day I'd love to work with some of these fabulous European designers, but for now, where we're at right now, I think it's going to remain like this for a while.
Okay, well, I want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very
I
much.
think you've done fabulously well. I want to remind everyone that the first caller in is going to get a lovely sequence Designs by Naomi original tank top at 416-204-9951.
Yeah.
So please call in and win that. Do you have anything else you want to share with us today?
I just want to thank you very much for having myself and my friends on the show. It's been wonderful.
There's somebody who wants that top.
I hope you like it, whoever it is.
And we'd like to have your web address rather, so people
Okay.
can find your designs online.
Okay. Perfect. I should say that.
Yes,
now.
please.
It's designsbynaomi.com or rockandkarma.com. Both.
And
Rock.
what's your
Do you have
phone
to
number?
spell that out? Rock and Karma?
It's
or
rockn, ROCKN, karma, KARMA.
.com.
.com or designsbynaomi.com, and it's 128.5 Cumberland Street.
And what's your phone number?
It's 416-345-8389.
Well, I want to thank you very much for being here today. I think this was a great segment, and you're very inspirational and creative and passionate, and I like all that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Naomi. Okay. All right, we're going to take a little break.
Right? And then we'll be back with the Aaron Jones Band.
Yeah, we're even going to play one of their tracks because they brought their CD right now. We're going to get them set up. We're going to have some fantastic live performance here on
great.
Liquid Lunch. Thatchannel.com. We'll be right back.
Thank you.